Hi, I'm Fritha. I'm a social media specialist and founder of Black Label Social Media, and I want to talk to you today about social media trends for 2017 and what you should really be focusing on this year to make the most out of your social media marketing. So if this is something you think you know some friends who would find useful, if you've got any small business owner friends or marketers, please do share it with them on their feeds or share it with them by tagging them in the comments if you think anyone else would find it useful. So let's crack on. The first thing that you need to be focusing on in 2017 is video. And you're probably fed up of hearing this because you've probably heard it a million times already. But video is what you need to be looking at for 2017, especially live video. So we know that the Facebook algorithm, you have heard it, is really pushing video at the moment. They have spent loads of money promoting live video, so this isn't a flash in the pan thing. This isn't one of those things where you're going to try it 1 minute and the algorithm's going to change and it's not going to work anymore. You might have seen even on television, they're doing television ads promoting live video. So this is something Facebook have put a lot of money and investment behind, so they want you to use it, and because of that they are really boosting live videos. You could have only a few people watching your video. I've heard other people say they've had a few hundred viewers on their video, and then after the end of the video, because Facebook continues to push it after you've been live, they've had tens, hundreds of thousands of reach on these videos. So it's a really good way to get into people's feeds, especially with the organic reach of most forms of content really dropping, especially on Facebook. Video is really where it's at the moment. And also the really great thing about video is it's very authentic, and we're seeing this shift towards more unfiltered content, more authentic content. You'll notice that a lot of marketers, a lot of businesses are posting more behind the scenes footage, sneak peeks, that kind of thing, as opposed to more glossy kind of content that's been created over a lot of time. It's a lot more unfiltered, what you see is what you get kind of content. And that is a great way to build relationships with potential customers and with fans of your brand. Now, you'll hear the old thing that people don't buy from brands, people buy from people. Now, that's not entirely true. People buy from people who they like and who they trust. So a great way to build trust with your audience is to go live, show them yourself, unedited, unfiltered. They know that you're not going to be hiding behind any editing tricks and things like that. It's a great way to get face to face with your audience. They can ask you questions. By the way, if you've got any questions throughout this, drop them in the comments box, even if you're not watching live. I will come back after this has gone onto replay and I will be answering questions there as well. So you can build relationships, and that is going to build trust with your audience, and that's going to make people more likely to buy from you, more likely to spend money with you, which ultimately is going to be great for your business. So it's not all about live video as well, although obviously a lot of live video, there is now live video on Instagram, and you can do live video on Snapchat, but you can do non-live video as well. If you're a little bit scared of going live, you can just create videos as sort of normal. They're doing really well as well. You've probably noticed, if you're anything like me, your feed will be full of videos from like BuzzFeed Tasty, Nifty, loads of like cooking videos and things like that, funny videos, things people are tagging their friends in. So you'll notice that videos are really being pushed at the moment, especially by Facebook. So any video at all, whether it's live or not, is useful. And it doesn't have to be really difficult to create a video. You might think, well, you know, I've got a small budget, I don't have any recording equipment, I don't have a fancy camera, I don't have any like editing software. You don't need anything fancy to create videos. There's loads of apps out there now which help you to really quickly and easily create professional looking videos. So if you look in the feed on the Black Label page, you'll notice that recently I've put up a new video, and it's just a bit of a why you need to use social media, just a kind of a little bit of a marketing video that I'm also using on my website. That was created, it looks quite slick, I think, and that was created with an app called Adobe Spark. So it took about 10 minutes to do with some images that I already had on my website, and it's got really professional sounding music on, professional looking graphics, and I created it all on my phone. Didn't even touch the computer to do it. So it's really straightforward, and so yeah, have a look at some little apps you can use. There's also Adobe Post, and have a look, and there's loads of little apps coming out now where you can create video quickly and easily. So moving on to the second thing you need to be focusing on in 2017, and that is quality content and data insights. And I know that is the least sexy sounding thing they could be, especially when I've just been talking about video, it's really exciting, and now I'm saying data and quality content. But pay to play isn't going anywhere, especially now we're seeing there's the Instagram algorithm has come into play, which a lot of people think means that Facebook are going to be pushing for people to spend more money, for people to see their posts on Instagram. We know that if you want to get great reach on Facebook, a lot of the time you've got to pay for it. And there's as well, Twitter's got an algorithm now, so they do still want you to pay to boost your posts, and organic reach is probably just going to drop and drop and drop. There's nothing we can do about that. However, it's not completely gone yet, and so the important thing now is to focus on really good quality content people are going to engage with, people are going to share, people are going to tag their friends with, because that is what is going to make your content get into people's news feeds, in front of your fans and in front of potential new fans as well. So you need to be focusing on the type of content you're putting out there and on your posting strategy. You can't anymore, it's about less volume now and higher qualities of posts. You can't just put any post out there willy-nilly several times a day hoping that if you just blast it with quantity, with loads and loads of posts, any old rubbish, that it's going to be more likely to get in front of people's eyeballs. It's actually going to do the opposite. So firstly, we've seen that if you post multiple times a day, your organic reach on each successive post drops, especially on Facebook. And also, if you post quality that isn't top quality, your content is fighting in the newsfeed with loads of other people's content, if you're lucky enough to get into people's news feeds in the first place. So if you have low quality content, people aren't going to engage with it. They're just going to skip straight past it to the next thing. If people aren't engaging with your content because it's rubbish, then that's going to say to Facebook that all the content you put out is naff. It's going to just show it to fewer and fewer people. You're not going to be put in anyone's news feed, and that isn't great for your business. So what you need to do, focus on really high quality content. So post less often. If that means you're only posting on Facebook once a day or maybe 2 to 3 times a week, that's better than posting every day and having content that isn't great. There's a few different ways you can use to find your best content. So it's about finding that top quality content. A good way to do it is, what I do is put all my content on Twitter first, and then the best performing content from Twitter you can take and put it on Facebook and only do those best performing posts there. It's kind of a way to filter out what works better. There's loads of different ways you can do it. It's worth playing around with different types of content. And then also, this is where it comes on to the data analysis. You need to be looking at your data. I know it's a thing that most people try and avoid because it can be quite boring, it can be overwhelming, but you can get loads of great data for free from your social media platforms. Twitter has great analytics, Facebook has great analytics. You don't need to be paying for expensive analytics software unless you're sort of like a big company with a massive social media strategy. Google Analytics is great if you're looking at conversion tracking or the amount of people you're sending to your website. So use that data and have a look and see what is performing best. It's really easy to see that just from the front page of your Facebook analytics. What type of content are your audience liking most, sharing most, commenting on? What is resonating with them? And do more of that. What are they not liking? Do less of that. It's not that difficult. So just have a look in, have a drill down. With Twitter, have a look which are your best performing hashtags. Use those more. Find the types of posts that people are completely ignoring. They're not getting any retweets, they're not getting any likes, and do less of that. So that's what you need to do. Look at your data. Also, you can use Facebook to find out about your audience and what other things they like. So it might be looking into Facebook audience insights and saying, okay, my audience is also a fan of these other pages on Facebook. What are those pages doing? What type of content are they putting out that you're not? And then use that, because it's something that's going to resonate with your audience. So yeah, focusing on quality content less often. Don't put out anything that you're not 100% happy with and 100% certain that is going to provide benefit to your audience, that they're going to like and is going to resonate with them, and they're going to want to share with their friends. Okay, so this is all part of like a bigger social media strategy as well, posting strategies and things like that, which is something that I think I might be talking about soon. So if you want to hear more about that, leave a comment and let me know. And then I'm going to move on to my third thing to focus on for 2017, and that is what I like to call hands-off social. So that is all about automation and about repurposing your content. So I'm not saying automate everything. Now, this is where it can get into dodgy ground. Do not automate everything. There's certain things you shouldn't automate. Like, I hate it when I get automated direct messages or tweets on Twitter when I follow someone. It's just a real turn off for a lot of people. So there's a lot of stuff you shouldn't automate, but done well, automation is going to save you time, save you effort, and ultimately get you better results on social media. So what are we going to automate? I'm going to talk about do's and don'ts of automation in a later Facebook Live as well. So if you want to find out about that, make sure you like this page so then you'll be notified next time we go live. But one thing that we're going to talk about, so scheduling. That's the thing that I like to do some automation with, because if you schedule your social media, you will know that it can take ages and be a massive time suck, and it's something that I personally don't look forward to very much. However, I've started doing some more automation with my scheduling. It has freed up so much more of my time and I'm seeing better results with it. So what I'm doing on Twitter, for example, is I am looping evergreen content on that. And so I've basically set up posts of mine and other people's, because I like to share a lot of other people's content, especially on Twitter, is posts that are evergreen, so they still add value, even if they could be 2 years old, they could be 5 years old, could be 3 months old, but they're still relevant and they still provide value to my audience. So I've got them set up. I personally use Post Planner and Recur Post, but there's lots of other services you can use to do it. And basically I've put all the tweets in that I want with all these bits of content, and it just automatically now loops them forever, shares them on my Twitter. So I don't have to go in and worry about what I'm sharing on Twitter every day and type out like 2 new Twitter like statuses for every hour or anything like that, because I know that this is automatically going to post a lot of content for me. It's still relevant, it's still going to help my audience, and then I can just go in and pop in the one-off tweets that I want to in there that are for specific days and aren't going to be repeated. So services you can use like this is Meet Edgar, there's Post Planner and Recur Post, as I've mentioned, there's CoSchedule, there's loads of those. So if you want to do something like that, just have a Google, find out which one's best for you. Or if you've got any questions, I've used a few of them and tried out a few, so just leave a comment. And then another great service to use for automation is If This Then That, or IFTTT. This is something that I'm always raving about to everyone. I'm always telling all my friends, I'm always telling my family about it. I don't think they care, so which is why I'm telling you guys, because you will actually want to know. And so this is a great tool which links up your different social media channels. It can also link up various different services. It can even link with things like if you have a smart house, so you have a smart smart lighting in your house, it can like control that. But the things I use it for is social media, and it links things together with if something happens, then it does something else. Now that sounds a bit confusing, so to give you an example, I have it set up so if I post a picture to Instagram, it will automatically post that picture natively to Twitter, because if you've ever shared a picture to Twitter from Instagram, you might have noticed that it shares it as a link, and then that's not very useful. You can't see it in the feed. No one's really going to click through the link from Twitter to go onto Instagram, so it doesn't look great. But with If This Then That, it automatically takes the picture and posts the picture natively to Twitter, so the picture shows up all big and bright and beautiful in the feed. So that's really useful. Another great thing it can do is it can automatically tweet your blog posts. It can, so that means that you don't have to schedule once you've blogged, it will automatically tweet for you. You could automatically set it up to put it in Buffer if you use Buffer, so it can tweet further down the line for you. You could share your Instagram posts with Facebook, and there we go, that's a Facebook post you don't have to schedule in. So that saves a lot of time and effort, so have a look at that. It's if.ttt. And so If This Then That. So that's great. And then so that moves on to repurposing. So as I said there, you can share your Instagram posts on Twitter, share your Instagram posts on Facebook, and it's all about taking the content you've created, that you've spent time and effort in creating, and not just using it necessarily on one channel, but using it on a lot of others as well. So there's good ways, obviously you can do this with images, so sharing images from Instagram to Twitter, as I've said, but also try and think about using things in more creative ways and using all that content you're making for Instagram stories and Snapchat, because this is what's going to become big as well in 2017. So this is kind of like a teeny sneaky little fourth thing you should focus on, and that is expiring content. So we all know about Snapchat, things disappear after you've viewed them, if you send them to your friends, or after 24 hours on your story. Instagram stories is the same. So say you spent a load of time and effort creating things for Instagram stories, but it's going to disappear after 24 hours, then you're probably going to be maybe a little bit miffed that you spent all that time and then it's just vanished. So save those pictures down and you reuse them for something else instead. So repurpose that content. You can use it a lot further down the line, you can use it the next day, you can carry on tweeting it. If it's like a nice image, you could share it to Instagram, or you could turn your Snapchat story into a blog post, just writing a little blurb about all the different images. And for example, with this video, I will be downloading this video and uploading it onto YouTube, probably tomorrow, probably not tonight, because then I can reach a different audience there and share my content further, because obviously I put the time and effort into this video and I don't want it to just live on Facebook. So those are my top 3 things to focus on for 2017. So that is number 1 is video, number 2 is quality content and looking at your data, and number 3 is hands-off social, so automation and repurposing where you can. So thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more, please like the page, and if you think anyone else would find this useful, please do share it with your friends. If you've got any questions, even if you're watching on the replay, leave them in the comments and I'll come back and answer them later. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.